Hi there. I wanted to post this video because it was a good match, but I also wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind for a long time, and I just recently saw a really great video about the subject, and it is basically about cell phones, mobile devices and such. And yes, maybe the title is a little harsh, but I wanted to grab your attention, and if you see this video, maybe you're hesitant to like watch it or not because you're guilty of neglecting your girlfriend, boyfriend, parents, siblings, whatnot, or even neglecting your coworker because you're busy watching this video on your mobile. So I'm not saying you should not watch this video. But maybe you should watch this video at home on your PC instead of watching TV, or when you are spending some quality time alone. But I feel that it has come too far with the cell phones, and while I think that cell phones are really, really great if you're in a dire situation, in an emergency, like your car breaks down in the middle of some dark forest, or in the middle of the desert, or just anywhere really, in the middle of the highway. You lost someone you were with, and you can't find that person, and that's the only that you need to find that person because that's the person knows how to get out of where you are, or the person is the one with the car, or you just simply want to get back together with that person. It's like in a city you don't know, or at a festival or something like that. So cell phones can be extremely, extremely helpful, and it can be a lifesaver in sometimes. So, having GPS on your cell phone to find your way out of a situation, or how to get to a party or to a spot, is really awesome. Having a AAA app so you can quickly connect with AAA, or you can look up an insurance company, or if you are in a car accident, you actually have a camera, you can snap a photo of the damage the accident has left, of the person that caused the accident, if it wasn't yourself, stuff like that. So, it's really great. You can call people, but that's all in emergency situations. What about all the other situations? Do you need to have a phone on you in all the other situations? No, you don't. I mean, how did people do it like 20 years ago? They didn't have a phone on them, a phone that they could carry around. They had phones, yeah, they were street phones. Phones that you had to find and go and make a phone call and pay with pennies and cents and so on. So you had to carry around some cash, big deal. But most people back then, when you didn't have a cell phone, you really didn't really need a phone unless you were in an emergency situation. All other times, you didn't have to call anyone. Why would you have to call anyone if it's not an emergency situation? Enjoy the time you're in, enjoy the place you're at, enjoy what's around you, enjoy the people you're with, and talk to those people. I mean, even if they're strangers, if you sit like next to somebody in the bus, on the train, anywhere, on a ship, I don't know, at a party, talk to that person. Don't look at your cell phone the whole time. If you look at your cell phone the whole time, you miss out on so many things. You won't listen to what the person really has to say, unless they just babble away. But maybe then you walk away and find another person. Don't just be rude and look at your phone and pretend like you're listening while the other person clearly can tell that you're not listening. I mean, I personally hate when I'm with people. I can literally sit, I have a cell phone with me, but I don't open up my purse and get out my cell phone when I'm with a group of people just to kind of like play around with it. It's like I'm with those people. So I pay attention to those people. I listen to those people. I, try to make conversation with those people. I try to look around and try to enjoy my surroundings. Like, let's say it's at the restaurant or some event. I don't want to miss out on things. It's like, well, then I can just, if I'm not interested in what's going on around me and what people have to say, then why not just sit around alone in a room by yourself and not leave the house at all? I mean, there's what's the point even to go out? You can do all your shopping online. You can do everything online nowadays. You can, there's really nothing you can't do online. So, I mean, why even go out? But I don't understand why. I mean, you see it especially with the really, really young, like people like teenagers. It's crazy. It's not necessary that they like on the phone a lot, like making phone calls, but it's the texting, and the texting is so annoying. I mean, we have had a visitor the other day, and it was a teenager, and she was basically texting 24/7. I mean, we were talking to her, and most of the time she wasn't even hearing what we were saying. We were pointing out things she's never seen the city, she's never been to the city we're living. There were lots of things to see. We're like, oh, did you see that sunset? Oh, yeah, well, now it's gone. Did you see that? Oh, look over there. Oh, never mind, it's gone now, you missed it because you were busy texting. You know, did you see that? No, I didn't see because I was texting. So it's like, why would you have to text all the time? I mean, what are you talking about and who are you talking about all the time? Do you have to talk all the time? Can you just be silent and just enjoy? I mean, it's like if you're the person that, you know, wants to spend some quality time with you, and let's say that person, you know, has a cell phone, but it's not necessarily like you addicted to it. It's your girlfriend or your boyfriend, you're in a nice restaurant, and let's say you're a guy and she's a girl, and she sits there and she looks in your eyes and she just enjoys the moment. She has a cell phone, but it's in her purse. And you're like sitting there looking at your cell phone, texting to, I don't know, your mom, your buddy. Maybe you want to find out when you can hook up for playing online or something like that. And she's basically realizing that you're not listening to anything she says. You're not even really making eye contact with her because you don't really have any interest. You feel like you can just kind of multitask here. It's kind of like a job. Like you sit at the restaurant with your girlfriend, but at the same time you can take care of business, and whatever business that is, you know, hooking up with your online buddies or whatever. Or bragging to your friend how hot your girlfriend is that you're not even looking at. So, you know, you're totally missing out. You're probably going to lose that girlfriend because she's going to go out and find a guy that actually doesn't sit on his cell phone all the time, that cherishes her more than his cell phone, stuff like that. So, you know, that's just one little example of how cell phones can destroy relationships completely. That's not even over-exaggerated, you know. What's actually really sad is the fact that we are so dependent on our mobile gadgets that there's a lot of things you can't even do without having a cell phone. I mean, what if you decide you don't want to have a cell phone? I don't like cell phones, I don't need one, I have a phone at home. When I'm out, I don't need to make phone calls, and when I'm in an emergency situation, then I just deal with it, you know. I mean, there's people like that out there. Let's say especially a lot of the older people that are not so fond of all this new technology and have a really hard time to even understand the new technology, or don't want to. They're tired. They've had a long life. They've gone through so many changes over so many decades, and they just simply don't want to. My mom was one of them. I mean, she finally started to learn how to text. So if she is in an emergency situation, or just, you know, for fun, the kids can text her once in a while. But all the other stuff she just didn't want to learn. And she brought up a good point. It's like she wanted to do something. She called some place up and they were saying, well, you need to confirm this with your cell phone. And that was before she even had a cell phone. And she was like, well, I don't have a cell phone. They were like, well, you need to do it with a cell phone. You have to have a cell phone. And then she was just like, that's just crazy. And another thing is, like, you know, for example, I had a cell phone for a long time. All that cell phone could do is calls. It just could do phone calls. It couldn't do texting. It couldn't do any internet. It maybe did some black and white gaming stuff, but it was mainly a phone just to make phone calls. That was good enough for me. If I got into an accident, I was able to make a phone call, and that was plenty for me for many, many years. I didn't want to spend like a ton of money every month to have all this other stuff that I didn't need. It's like I'm on my computer like so much because of work, And then in my free time on my computer a lot, because I do a lot of my hobbies are computer related. So, you know, when I leave the house, I don't want to be on a computer again. And that's all mobile phones are. They're computers. They're just handheld computers. They're like tiny little laptops you carry around all the time. So you're like sitting at your laptop at work or at your computer at work all day long. Then you like, you know, go home, you're like maybe on a computer train. You look at your phone and you go home and you still look at your phone, and you have dinner and you look at your phone, and then the last thing you do before you turn off the light in bed, you still look at your phone. I mean, it's just crazy. It's like life is about other things than just like looking at a computer screen all the time. Besides that, it's not even good for you. I mean, it's not good for your eyes. It's not good at all. I mean, it's just, you know, it's good to have nowadays in this world, but it's not good for you. So, you know, it's mentally not good for you. It's not good for you. So anyway, back to what's so sad is that, for example, you sign up online for something, I don't know, a new account or something, you know, it says, oh, you need to, you know, give us your cell phone number so we can send you a confirmation code, text you a confirmation code that you then have to type in to verify that you are who you are. It's like, and you know, before I had a smartphone, I was like, I can't, you know, first of all, I don't want you guys to have my cell phone because it's my emergency phone. I don't want to pay for phone calls that I didn't make. You know, if I get all those spam calls, I don't want to give out my cell phone number. My cell phone number is for my family and my very close friends, and that's it. I'm not going to give my cell phone number to anyone. I mean, even if I had texting, but I didn't have texting. And then I had a phone where I could have texted, but I didn't sign up for that because I didn't want to pay for that, because I can text for free on my iMac via iMessage. I can text for free on my iPad via iMessage, which is something that I didn't find out until a little bit later, because I was never really interested in texting. And so basically I was not able to sign up for certain things just simply because I didn't want to give away my cell phone number, or I couldn't receive texts via my cell phone. And that was just crazy. And I mean, I was like, hey, you can have, you know, you can send me a text, but you have to send it to my iPad, to my, you know, Yahoo email. And that didn't work. So it's like, no, it has to be a phone number. So it's like, you can do texting, but you can only do texting with a cell phone number, which then costs. You know, you can't do that for free. I know there's some free apps where you can text for free, like WhatsApp and some other ones. And that's not something I didn't know a year ago either. So those are things that even us young people have to learn, because there is so much out there. And, you know, it's like something is in today, it's already out tomorrow. So technology moves really fast. And that's why old people a lot of times are like, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm retired. I've worked all my life. I don't want to learn anymore. I've done my learning. I've gone to schools. I've had a job where I had to always be on top of the latest things. I had to be always, you know, alert. I had to know all those things. And now I'm retired. Now I'm enjoying life. I just want to enjoy life. And it's so sad that we young people, and I don't consider myself really young anymore, but let's say, you know, the really, really young people, like the teenagers, don't realize that they're growing into a generation where they are literally missing out on life. I mean, they can literally go on an excursion or some adventure. You know, the other day I was on a helicopter flight and we were starting to film. I had an actual film camera with me because I wanted a really high quality capture. I had a photo camera with me, and my other two friends had cell phones, and they wanted to film with cell phones. So none of us was really enjoying the helicopter flight. At the beginning, we were all on our, you know, like looking through our lenses, and then we were like, wait a minute, we shouldn't do this because we're missing out on this whole thing. We're going to get off this helicopter. We were like, what? That's it? It's already over? We totally forgot to actually enjoy it because we were not even looking at the surroundings, enjoying being inside a helicopter and so on. It wasn't my first helicopter flight, so it wasn't as important to me. But it was still important because it's not cheap to go on a helicopter flight, and it is something that you don't do every day, or not even every year. So that's just another example of, you know, it's not just the texting and the phone calls, but it's now we have a camera on us at all times. And it's like every little thing we have to, oh my God, there's something, we have to film it. Let's just film it. And that brings up a lot of problems because a lot of people now realize that their privacy is at stake because you don't know who's taking photos of you or makes a film of you wherever you are. You could be anywhere in a restaurant or at a you know, at a mall, at some store doing your grocery shopping, and somebody snaps a picture of you and you don't even know it because it's not obvious anymore. They look just like they're looking at their phone and they can just secretly snap a photo of you. They can even secretly record everything you say and you don't even know it. You could sit with somebody anywhere at an office, you know, at a meeting, at a restaurant, in a movie theater, and you say something and somebody else can record it. There goes your privacy. It's gone. I mean, those are all the things that people don't even realize. It's like, you know, you're young, you think, oh my God, gadgets are so cool. I can do all those cool things and I always have the latest gadget, so I have something to brag about to my friends and how awesome that is, and oh my God, I have to post everything I do online. And you know, I'm a little bit guilty here too. I do YouTube videos, but you know, I'm not saying I'm not guilty, but because that's why I want to bring that up, because I learned those things and I'm like, this is so true. I mean, it's crazy. I'm even forced to have a mobile because, you know, my friends are like, what, you can't even text, oh my God. I mean, are you like old-fashioned or what? Why am I old-fashioned? Because I want to enjoy life. So so you're called old-fashioned, you're being old-fashioned. If you rather enjoy your life than play around with a gadget all day, every minute, every second. I don't think that's the right thing to say. But that's how you looked at nowadays. People laugh at the old people. They're like, oh my God, can you believe they don't even know how to write an email? It's like, oh well, you know, they had to learn things way before you were born, and they knew how to do things that you would never learn how to do, or you would never want to learn because it's very hard and cumbersome, and things were much harder to learn. Nowadays, I mean, you can write music within 5 minutes and write a hit song. I mean, this is not something you could do 20 years ago. You had to literally know how to play an instrument and put a lot of time and effort in it. And I'm not saying that it takes me 5 minutes to write my music, I wish. Takes me a lot more time, but there's actually been hit rap songs written within 5 minutes and they became huge hits. So that means that we have less and less quality and more just mass production, cheap mass production, and people buy into it. So enough about my rant now. I don't know if you agree, if maybe I open your eyes, maybe you totally disagree, I don't know, you're probably really young. So I leave that up to you what to think about it, but I hope you enjoyed my match and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.